hands up. Get your hands up. That's what he's treating. That's how he's treating a stranded citizen.
Sometimes the courtroom becomes the ultimate stage for justice, where no badge can shield the truth. Today, we're diving into those unforgettable moments when corrupt cops were exposed and owned in front of a judge.
I have no idea what's going to happen right now. I do know one thing. There's going to be one side who's going to be brokenhearted. One side's going to be brokenhearted. We know that for sure. What I ask everybody, and then I follow it up with I'm ordering, that I am respectful that this is the most pressure-packed moment for most people in their entire lives.
On March 7th, 2019, following a decision he made that resulted in the most horrifying circumstance conceivable, Palm Beach officer Newman Raja was informed of the verdict of his trial, and the result was far from pretty.
I hereby sentence Mr. Raja to 25 years in the Department of Corrections. That is as a minimum mandatory, which was required that he serve day for day.
However, 8 days before, at the start of Raja's trial, the prosecution had disclosed the true reason for his detention.
That defendant right there chose to refuse to act like any reasonable law enforcement officer approaching a stranded citizen in help. That is why Corey Jones died that evening. He recklessly created a situation which could only be expected to result in somebody being seriously injured or killed. You see, this isn't just a tragic story. This is a tragedy that was created. It was created by him. It resulted in an innocent man being killed. Corey Jones was doing nothing except waiting for help on the side of the road because his SUV broke down. And one of the few people that should have unquestionably been there to assist him on the side of that road did exactly the opposite. Instead of being Corey Jones' saving grace, he was his angel of death.
In this instance, Corey Jones was the victim, and his contact with Raja was his final moment.
The evidence will show that there's no way Corey Jones knew, even at the time that he was running, fleeing from the back of his vehicle, running into the dark, seeking cover, laying there on the ground, dying, breathing his last breath. No way that he knew that the person that actually shot and killed him was a law enforcement officer. He's out at the middle of the night on the side of the road, stranded. And unlike a lot of folks in this world, he was patient, he was nice. All he wanted was some help to get home. You'll hear it with your own ears. You'll hear how he's calm. You'll hear how he's giving her information just to get the help that he needs. But see, unfortunately for Corey Jones, his bad luck was turning much worse. Because unknown to him, that defendant was on duty.
Officer Raja responded as Jones waited for non-emergency assistance, and Jones unfortunately paid the price for circumstances which were out of his hand.
See, he was a police officer at that time in Palm Beach Police Department. He was working a detail, a plainclothes detail, where he was supposed to surveil neighborhoods, looking for car burglars. And if he saw anything, he's supposed to call up marked units to come and take care of the issue. And he has supposed to be wearing a tactical vest, like you see on TV, in the news, maybe in person, with big letters that say police across it. So everybody knows who he is. If he gets out of that van, an unmarked van, he's supposed to be clearly identifiable as a law enforcement officer.
Raja chose to play the judge, jury, and executioner roles rather than taking any of these measures.
And instead of doing what everybody would expect a law enforcement officer to do when they're approaching a stranded, potentially abandoned, but at least a vehicle that's stranded on the side of the road, that defendant did everything wrong. He did everything that you would not expect. He's driving an unmarked white van And he comes along and he goes up the wrong way of an I-95 exit ramp.
Raja also asserted throughout his trial that he had introduced himself to Jones as an officer, although an audio recording refuted this. This was the starting point of his downfall.
Now, Corey Jones, he's got an expensive job. He goes into not the nicest parts of Delaware Beach for his job. So he did what any lawful American can do. He purchased a firearm, .380 handgun. You can't even try to create the situation he got. He got that done 2 days prior to this event. It was still in the box in his glove compartment. But as soon as that defendant recklessly pulls up to him at 3 o'clock in the morning, in the way that he did,
this would refute Raja's other assertion, namely that Jones's armed status was the reason his hand was forced.
Corey Jones knew what was exactly about to happen. What any reasonable person could expect to happen. You'll show through the evidence today and through the next 2 weeks what Corey Jones was thinking. You'll hear how Corey Jones had that gun into that box. You'll hear the chimes of the door opening on Corey Jones' SUV because he still had the keys in the ignition. And you'll hear the last words that Corey Jones ever spoke in this world. They weren't confrontational words. They weren't fighting words. They were calm words that unfortunately turned to fear. Because there's the defendant. Nothing that shows he's an officer. He didn't even pull out the badge, which was in his wallet, in his back pocket, to show to Corey Jones. Much less put on that vest that said police, or even had his radio or his gun. There's no verbal identification that you're going to hear on that recording when Corey Jones was talking to that sales representative that had to sit there and witness this horrific event unfold.
Given how seriously Raja's conduct was portrayed, the prosecutor's response was entirely justified by the facts of the case.
Yeah, I'm good. Really? That's what he's saying. That's not how an officer talks to a citizen at 3 o'clock in the morning on the side of the road. But that's how he spoke to what he saw with Corey Jones on the side of that road. All the while, when he's saying this, when you listen to this tape, realize things didn't stop. We're not all of a sudden just done with action. As this defendant is saying these words to Corey Jones, and Corey Jones is responding back, he's getting closer and closer to Corey Jones. He's actually chasing Corey Jones away from his vehicle. Corey's already retreating back out of his doorway to the back of his vehicle. A citizen that's stranded on the side of the road, already being chased from his vehicle.
Given what transpired, it is horrifying to believe that Raja didn't pause for even a moment before profiling Jones.
Get your hands up! Get your hands up! That's what he's treating. That's how he's treating a stranded citizen. Immediately within seconds, that's what he's saying. Profane orders being shouted at a time when a guy is sitting with a broken down car, trying to get home. And what is Corey saying? He doesn't respond in kind with profanity. He says, hold on, hold on. Once again, get your effing hands up. Drop. 3 shots.
Apart from Raja's intention to kill a man in cold blood, something the jury was definitely not allowing him to get away with, none of this was justified.
He didn't ask for it. It got thrust upon him by the person that was supposed to be caring for his safety. He made a decision to shoot first and ask questions later.
Raja is a symbol of everything that is wrong with the police force today, which permits complete psychopaths to hold high positions.
Just thrown down the gun already that he had in his hand that was meant to protect him, and you consider that Corey Jones is running for his life after being shot at on the side of the road, that's forever. 10 seconds between the third and the fourth shot. 10 seconds for a young man running for the color of darkness. 10 seconds for that defendant right there finally do what he is supposed to do as a law enforcement officer. But that's not what the evidence is going to show he did. It's going to show his recklessness. His absolute reckless behavior from the start is now changing. It's evolving. It's now becoming a premeditated intent to kill.
The facts would go to show that this was something far worse than an accident or a case of ineptitude.
He waits over 30 seconds. 30 seconds to call 911. And why was he calling 911? Because he didn't have his radio on him like he's supposed to. He had to use his own phone to call 911, and he waited 30 seconds to call. Before getting medical assistance for Corey Jones, before getting much needed assistance, if he was truly in fear of his life, well, he needs to call a cavalry. 30 seconds. Doing what? Letting Corey Jones die. And think, how is he going to act?
This could be the lone instance in which the prosecution was incorrect. It's very possible that Raja has done this before. He doesn't seem like a first-time killer.
With great power comes great responsibility. Law enforcement officers undoubtedly possess great power, great capacity for good. But that necessarily equals great responsibility in the way that those powers are used. They have a right to kill a person if necessary. But they don't have a right to kill anybody without absolute necessity.
According to the prosecution, Raja may not have killed Jones out of sentimentality or rage, but rather out of a simple lack of concern. What else could this careless killer possibly done?
And he's going to explain to you, the judge will tell you what culpable negligence means. He's going to say it means a course of conduct showing a reckless disregard for human life or the safety of other persons exposed to its dangerous effects of conscious indifference to the consequences. I couldn't have thought up better words to explain exactly what he did.
However, the possibility that Raja may have plotted this from the beginning raises even more serious questions.
He was reckless from the start. He created the situation, and the evidence is going to show you that he could have only expected one result. The death of Corey Jones. And that's manslaughter. It doesn't matter if we're bad. It doesn't matter if you're hopeless. It's manslaughter. But see, he doesn't get a free pass under the law for those last 3 shots. The last 3 shots that he waited 10 seconds to deliver. It took 1 second interval between each one. The law doesn't give him a free pass for those shots.
Raja has no points in his defense, no way to escape justice, and the walls are closing in on him fast.
You're going to hear medical examiner come up here, forensic pathologist, and explain to you all the injuries that Corey Jones sustained. He was shot in the left forearm, fractured the bone in his forearm to the point where it compounded. It came out of his skin. He was shot in the back of the arm, the back of this arm, on the right side of the upper arm, and went through right at him. He was shot in the right side of his chest, and that bullet ripped through his body, destroyed his aorta, and lodged into his left shoulder.
The prosecution attacked Raja one last time, suggesting that while he may have been a criminal, he was not a clever one.
We're confident that you're going to agree on the one verdict for which all the evidence will support. And that's a verdict finding him guilty as charged. of being a reckless killer and for trying to murder Corey Jones. I'm going to ask you to hold him responsible for how he misused that power.
The worst aspect is that Raja showed no remorse and even attempted to justify his behavior with his family. But the judge, thankfully, did not see it that way.
Newman, Khan, Raja, defendant, verdict. We, the jury, find as follows. As to count 1, we find a defendant guilty of manslaughter while armed with a firearm as charged in the information. As to count 2, we find a defendant guilty of attempted first-degree murder as charged in the information. If you find a defendant guilty of attempted first-degree murder, you must next answer the following questions. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant actually possessed a firearm? Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant actually discharged a firearm? Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant in discharging the firearm actually caused great bodily harm or death to Corey L. Jones? Yes.
However, this case ended well because Raja had to face the consequences of his actions. Circuit Judge Joseph Marks could have given Raja a life sentence. Marks imposed a 25-year sentence on both convictions to be served concurrently. Up next, we have 2 other corrupt cops whose carelessness led to something very unfortunate, to say the least. On October 8, 2020, the Stockton Police Department received 2 911 calls from a local AM/PM on Trinity Parkway, one from an employee and one from a customer, Shane Sutherland. The officers arrived at the scene, but the negligence on display ultimately caused something absolutely devastating and unfixable.
911, what's your emergency?
Yeah, can I get a taxi cab to the AM/PM?
This is 911, not a taxi cab.
I know.
Yeah, we don't order taxi cabs on 911.
Oh, well, yeah, that's,
You could try 411.
Oh, no, that needs to come to, that needs to come to AM/PM.
What does?
What I call
911?
Yeah.
What's your emergency?
Someone's trying to rob me over here.
Who is?
Somebody in the store.
Are you an employee there?
Yeah.
What is your name?
Oh, no, I'm not an employee, I'm just a customer.
What is your name?
This was the first 911 call the police received. It suddenly and mysteriously ended.
The address of your emergency?
Yes, emergency.
You need police, medical, or fire?
Police as soon as possible, because the guy is trying to threaten us and just hold a bottle of wine and just he's going to throw it on us.
Okay, what's your name?
Calling. My name is. I just did call and nobody's
Yeah.
here, so.
Okay, we have an officer on the way, so I'll
Yes,
update them.
yeah,
Said he's threatening to throw a wine bottle at you?
Yeah, he's grabbing a wine bottle right now, and he just took a bottle from the top, and he was trying to threaten us. And
Okay.
he's standing right by the register, so no customer could get to the register even.
Okay, I'll go ahead and update the call. Thank you.
Yeah, please.
Bye-bye.
There was no time to waste. This guy could have seriously taken someone's life if the officers didn't act fast.
You paying for it?
The officers then took the man outside to understand what had happened in a safe environment, so they could assess the situation to the best of their abilities.
Sit down, on your butt.
I was trying to buy a bottle of wine.
You were?
Yeah.
So how come he's telling us that you're threatening him with it?
I don't.
It's on camera.
Yeah,
All I got to do is go
I
look.
said I didn't threaten anybody with it.
You didn't hold it up like this?
No.
Okay. Do you have money to buy wine?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay, so why are you calling 911?
I didn't.
No?
No. I was just trying to call a cab company.
Why?
Well, because I needed to get a cab to
Okay,
my hotel.
but you called 911 and the dispatcher told you that.
No, I think it was already done.
And then you said and you said that somebody was robbing you.
No, that wasn't me.
No, that was you.
I don't recall, sir.
He was saying it was not him, but the officer kept putting words in his mouth. Someone should tell him that this isn't how a cordial conversation should go.
What's your name?
Shane Sutherland.
Let me see your ID.
Yep.
Don't get up, just get it out of your pocket. You on probation or parole?
I'm on informal probation.
For what?
Just some old stuff from a long time ago.
What is that? What old stuff?
Nothing violent.
What is it?
Christ.
Spit it
I
out.
can't remember, sir. Honestly, I can't.
Really? You don't know what you're arrested for?
No, I
mean,
can't.
the drugs probably have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I'll run
Yeah.
with that.
How can the cop just assume role in his past arrest without any evidence to suggest so? The ignorance on display is appalling, to say the least.
I really haven't.
Well, no. There's either I do or I don't. Not I really haven't. You're high out of your mind right now.
This is
Cocaine?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you used cocaine?
earlier this morning.
Okay.
Earlier today.
So is that why you're acting out the way you do? Sit down. Sit
Oh,
down.
sorry.
You may think the cops haven't done anything wrong yet, but your perspective is about to twist the other way absolutely.
At the Motel 6.
By himself?
I guess.
Yeah, I got ID.
Who do you live with at Motel 6?
Just by myself.
Yeah?
God.
Yeah.
Wait, which Motel 6? There's two of them.
The Motel 6 in Tracy.
Oh, in Tracy.
Yeah, by Panera Bread. Fuck you, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Relax.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm relaxed.
Hey, relax.
I'm relaxed, sir.
Stop it.
Okay.
Don't
Hey,
Yes,
fight.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Knock
Yes,
it
sir.
off.
Yes, sir.
Knock it off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Dude, quit fighting.
I
You understand?
Yes, yes, sir. I got it. I understand. I won't move. I won't move at all.
The officer's telling him to quit fighting when he's so badly hurt that he's unable to resist.
You're not going to. Stop fighting.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm dead funny. Ah!
Relax.
Yes, sir.
You're.
Please let me breathe. Oh,
Knock it off.
Stop.
I promise I'll.
Relax.
I won't be breathing.
Relax.
I promise.
Hey, calm down.
Oh, I can't breathe. No. Don't
Relax.
Ah!
We're not. Relax.
Ah! No.
King of the Kings.
No. Ah!
Go to.
Help!
These officers put the man through a ringer and expect him to calm down. As if this wasn't enough, their tyrannical actions only get worse from here. And their ignorance of Shane's cries for help resulted in something tragic.
Why? Ah!
Shane. Shane.
Ah!
Shane.
Ah! Ah! Ah!
Relax. Relax.
Ah! Oh!
Hey, he's turning colors here. Relax. Relax. Got it? Relax.
The merciless officers only took his handcuffs off him when he had already stopped breathing. Paramedics arrived and took him to a local hospital, but it was already too late. He was pronounced emergency room less than an hour later. In a preliminary autopsy, the San Joaquin County Medical Examiner's Office concluded that there was no inflicted trauma or injuries to the decedent that caused his. However, DeSimone said that an independent autopsy by Dr. Bennett Amalu concluded that Sutherland's death was the result of positional asphyxia. That is the reason why the city of Stockton resolved this case for $6 million, DeSimone said. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and comment below with your thoughts. And if you liked this video, you'll love this next one where these corrupt cops mess with the wrong person.
Stop following us around. There's no logins.
Stop following us around! That's your last warning!